Well, good morning, everybody. It's Thursday morning, and I get up very early at about, I don't know, 5. Then I have to have my coffee before I come down here. But some people do their stuff at night, and sometimes I do that too. But most of the time, I do my work in the morning. Last night, I did pour some textured aquacast. I got these 2 penguin molds. And I saw somebody put decoupage napkins on them. It was Tam's Creative Corner, and I've been watching her for years. But anyway, I saw her do that, and I thought, oh, that's a cute idea. So I did order the same napkins she did, but I also have some rice paper and decoupage paper around here already, so I may use something I already have. But for now, I'm just going to demold, and I only have 2 bags of aquacast left, so I decided to use the texture cast because I had more than enough of that. So we'll see how this looks with the textured cast. And of course, slid right out. Well, that looks really nice. I'm just gonna, this is not a file, but you can still knock off some of this excess this way, just for now. Well, that turned out really cool. You can see some of the texture down here. Now you could, oh, there's a little bitty hole in his nose, and I pinched that really good too. Doggone it. But yeah, he's cute. Let's see how the other one did. Oh, let me put this back in here. No, that one's cute too. He's little compared to the other one. Chubbier. Let's see. Can you see? They're adorable. I actually like it. This color too. And so if you do sand these, and the thing about sanding these is if you have, like, this would probably be okay, but sometimes I tried to do a skull one time, and there was just so many details in there that it didn't work. This one is a little owl that I bought from Michelle from Glitz and Glitter. It's a super cute mold, and I already poured one. I'll go get it in a minute and show it to you. So the other one that I did is it had like a marbly effect with some reds and browns, I think. This one I just put one color in, but when you use texture and color, you do kind of get a multi effect, kind of. And isn't he cute? This, you could really bling this up by putting rhinestones across here and painting his little eyes and stuff. But sometimes I just like them plain. But on the one upstairs that I have, I did outline some gold here, and I think here, and I was going to paint the eyes, because I don't know if you can see, but yeah, you can. The little eyes are they look like a flower on the inside. So on the other one, I'm going to paint the eyes yellow, I think. Yeah. And then I also did a star ornament. So let me go get that out of the G3 Curator. Now, last year I did these ornaments, and I think I started off with 2 molds, but I had so many people ordering them by the dozens that I ordered some more. I didn't have, we were working with Resin yesterday, working on these wave night lights, and my husband had to drill holes into the burl wood so that when we put a light underneath it, it's going to shine through the wave. I'll show you the wave here in a minute. This is the wave mold. So the actually goes like that. And the burl wood sits right down in here. Well, so my husband drilled holes up through it so that when we put it over the stand that he's going to make for it, the lights will shine through the water. We're making 2 of those for my grandsons. So we were doing something else last Christmas for my grandsons, and it didn't quite work out, so we're still trying to fix it. This is what they were, and originally they were fully poured, but do you see the burl wood here? What I did is I painted coral along here, and somebody told me I had to seal it, and I didn't think I had to, but I took their word for it. And when I put the sealer on it, when I poured the last, now this is all sanded down, so that's why it looks cloudy, but so I mean everything was clear. There were a few bubbles coming out of the burl wood, but that was okay. There's a little scuba diver down in there, and I had penguins sitting at the top. I don't know if it's this one or the other one, but anyway, so the sealer ended up reacting to the resin, and so that last layer was nothing but cloud, you know. It was super clear. I couldn't tell you how many pours we had into this. Probably about 5 layers, because I put the whale in first, and then put the scuba diver in on the next layer, and making it 3D-ish. And so anyway, I told my husband, I said, I think we should try to fix that, you know. So we did. We cut it off, and we sanded it down where the coral was and everything. And I'm not even going to try to paint the coral back on. I'm just going to leave it plain, and then just put a coat over it. But the only thing is you know, I don't think, I mean, I did this a year ago, so how am I going to remember what color I used? And should I just pour clear over it? I could just do clear. But anyway, so yeah, I'm gonna try to fix both of these. So we had a little bit of resin left over, and it actually had little tiny little pieces of wood, because my husband, we had already put epoxy around the burl wood. Let me go get that too. Boy, I'm just showing you all kinds of things, aren't I? So this is the burl wood that will go at the bottom of that wave. And so, do you see the holes here? Well, they're drilled all the way through, so you had to put resin down in there. I'm gonna leave these up. You're a little stuck to the board, but that's okay. Yeah, we'll sand that down. But he was just filling, since he drilled those holes, that opens that up to air bubbles. So he was wiping resin down in those holes. And yeah, so that's what we worked on last night. And there was some resin left over. And it had little bitty tiny pieces, I mean slivers of wood in it, but not a whole lot. But I thought, well, I wanted to try this magic silver. Last year I did these, and I'll show you what portion I did in the silver. So last year I put the silver on this part of the mold, and then I put like one color here and one color here, because this is what's nice about this, is you can pour these separate. But last night I was just trying to use up the resin. So let's see, where's the hole at? Oh, there it is. So I don't know if you could see it very well, but I used it on this part this time. It's kind of hard to see it, isn't it? I can see it really good here. But I just brush it faintly. Whereas when last year I put it down solid here. Here I used this part of the mold, the little petals in the front. And so maybe under a different light you'll be able to see it better. I don't know, maybe you can see it, maybe you can't. I'll have to, at the end I'll have pictures of it, and I'll make sure that it can be seen. So anyway, that's what we were doing last night. And so this one's gonna have to dry up before I can do anything with it, all of these. So they'll have to dry before I try to decoupage on them. These, with that texture cast, it's so smooth. But yet you see some texture here, and you will see more texture in this when you seal it. But I gotta find out if she sealed hers before she decoupaged them, or if she just used the decoupage as the sealer. But anyway, that's what we worked on last night. Now I'm gonna I'm actually going to do Bond Crafter sent me some items. They sent me some 4-hour fast cure resin. They also sent me some silicone rubber, and they sent me this Flix Rubber, which I did do one already, and I'm not real happy with it. This is the little, I don't know what you call I had put mica powder in where the eyes were, and that didn't work, and so I'm probably just gonna have to draw them on. This one, I just don't understand. This is a cute little bear, but the only colorant I put in here was the mica that they sent with it. And can you see it? It has like a powdery effect in here, and what you mix up together is liquid. So I don't know how in the world that did that. And the only thing I can think of is maybe I didn't mix it long enough. But anyway, so I'm gonna re-pour it again, and I lost his ear here. So I'm gonna re-pour that again. Okay, so anytime I pour molds, I fill the mold up with water, and I weigh how much volume of water is in the mold. And then I'll add a little bit more just in case. So these two molds hold 3 ounces. So that's how much of this Flix Rubber that we have to make. So right now I am going to color the ears and cheeks and hands and feet. And I did it with cherry blossom. I like that color. I just want to give them some eyes. I don't know if I have to paint those on or what. So I always use this, you know, for small spots like this. I dip my brush in alcohol and then the pigment. And it'll stick a lot better, won't be flying away. And let's see, his little nose is right here. It's kind of right there. And then he's got 2 little hands right here. And then he's got 2 feet down in here. I don't know if you can see him. See him down in there? Sometimes it's nice if you pour the mold first and see exactly where you gotta put your stuff. A lot of times you don't know what those details are until you pour it. Alright, so I am, let's see, what did I do with those? That should be good. Just blowing on a little bit. Let the alcohol dry out. There's not a lot of alcohol, it's just I dipped my brush in it and that was it. So I'm gonna set that down for a minute, close my jar up, put it off to the side, and then fold it back up like that. And I think I'm gonna use the flat side. I think that's what I did the other day. This one is a bear with ears. I wonder if I should give him some little pink in the ears. Why not? Oh, stomach's beginning to growl. All right, I don't know. What do you think about that green? Should I try a different color? Maybe I should try the blue or something. Sorry, I'm out of frame here. So this is just like resin. It's 2 parts. It's equal parts of one to the other. Since I need 3 ounces, I need 1.5 ounces of one and 1.5 ounces of the other. And this one takes less than this one, I think. Oops. I think it did. This one, I'm going up to the 3. The first one I poured, I went between the 1 and the 2, which is 1.5. I am going to get a different spoon here. Okay, so the directions, I think it said to do 5 minutes. Let me look here real quick. I'll speed it up during this part. Well, it just says, mix slowly in the same direction until silky smooth and free of particles. Leave for 2 minutes to defoam naturally. So, this is how I stir my resin too. I try to stay going in the same direction. Causes less bubbles. And I scrape the bottom slowly. Even though this isn't resin, we don't want bubbles in this either. So, I don't know if you can see that or not. So, what's been going on with you guys? I'm telling you what, I have had a busy, hectic time since my husband had surgery on October 24th. The surgeon assured that he would be healed up. We scheduled it on a Friday, so he had the weekend to heal. Plus, he actually had that Monday off after. And so it was going to give him, 3 full days to heal. And he said he could go back to work on Monday, which actually would have been Tuesday. And boy, was that not the truth. I guess everybody does differently with these hernia surgeries. My husband had one that was in his groin area, and that's usually where you get them from, lifting things and stuff. And he's one of those kind of macho guys. I mean, he's gonna be 70 in January, and he still wants to pick up, 75 to 100 pounds. And what happened is, my son was looking for some kind of equipment to do some landscaping. And we live on a 3-acre lot here, and it's a wooded lot. Well, we've had this, whatever, I don't even know what you call it, but it's something that you pull with a either a rider mower or a bobcat or whatever. I don't even know. But anyway, it's been sitting up in our woods for a long time. I mean, it was all rusted out and everything, but I guess it doesn't matter if you're just using it for landscaping. And so my son has a shop, and he sells retro furniture, and he does really, really well. But then he was selling his shop, and things are taking longer than it is supposed to, because they had to get a certain license, and because it's a historic building, they had to get that passed through the city, and it was just a lot. So anyway, meanwhile, he still sells his furniture on the weekends, and then he decided to go to work for a buddy of his that does landscaping. And so he actually likes doing it, but he doesn't want to make a business out of doing it. So anyway, so my husband pulled that thing out of the woods and got it loaded up on the trailer and everything. I have no idea how much. It was a big piece of farm product. I don't even know what they call it. I should ask my husband. If he knows what it's called, I'll put it at the end of this video. But I think that's how he got the hernia. Anyway, so he had some issues. He had a really, really, really bad accident back in the late 70s. He's an iron worker, and this was before I met him. And I guess they were setting a electric transformer on top of a building, a big one. And so when they operate the crane, the guys that are on the building are giving them hand signals. There's one in charge of giving the hand signals. And I don't know if that crane operator took the signal wrong or what, but they ended up pushing my husband off the building. Luckily, it was only a 2-story building, but what wasn't so lucky is that I think the crane operator panicked, and once he saw my husband go off the side of the building, and then he let loose of the electric transformer box, and it landed on top of my husband's pelvic area. So I don't know if you know anybody that's ever been in the hospital for 18 months, but he was in ICU for 6 months, and I mean, smashed everything in his pelvis, and they said he would never have kids. Well, he has 2, so didn't crush everything. So anyway, but it did, the surgery that he was having on that Friday, he has a stricture which is considered scar tissue from the surgery that he had on his pelvic area. And I guess this surgery requires that your bladder be drained because they don't want to risk puncturing the bladder. So they put a catheter in, and so the surgeon couldn't get the catheter in because of the stricture. And so anyway, so they had to call a urologist in, and so then the urologist got it in, and they had to take different sizes and gradually move up till it was the right size. What happens is that stricture grows along that urethra tube or whatever you call it, and so like maybe 30 minutes into the surgery, I get called to this room, and this urologist says, "Oh, I had to do this. They called me in to put this catheter in." And so anyway, he said, "But I want it to stay in because if they take it out right after the surgery, it's just going to close back up again." And he says, "I can't believe that your husband has been going fine to the bathroom, and I don't know if I should be telling you all this. I'll tell my husband not to watch this one." Anyway, he was not happy when he came out of that surgery that he had a catheter in and had to leave it in for a week. So it was actually 6 days. So anyway, so lo and behold, he's getting all excited because Thursday's coming and he can have that catheter out. And then, so he went back to school and worked 2 days and then got an infection. And the infection was in his testes. So, yeah. And so I Googled it, and the only thing that would cause infection like that is trauma. And I'm sure the first surgeon was probably trying really hard to get that catheter in and couldn't. And so that might have caused some trauma. And then having to go through putting in the different sizes, that could have caused trauma. But anyway, so then he got this infection. I mean, he was in so much pain. He had to go to this meeting, or HOA development meeting, and yeah, he came home in really severe pain, and I took him to the ER the next morning. He wouldn't. I tried to get him to go that night, and he wouldn't go. But I took him, and they did. Of course, they had to do an ultrasound on it, and it was, when they do an ultrasound, they push down. I don't know if you've had an ultrasound done before, but they go in like this, and they rub it around, and then they push really hard, and of course he's got an infection down there, so it was very painful for him, and it was probably 30 minutes they did that. So anyway, long story short, he took another week off, so I've been taking care of him, and just basically feeding him and making sure he's taking his medicine and his pain medication that he can take, and putting warm compresses and cold compresses, and yeah, it's been a chore. So I'm glad to have this little time here to do a little art. So let me go get a plastic cup. Oh wait, I had these over here from the other day, sorry. So I am gonna do this one white. So let's do the white one first. And if we have any white left over, we'll just put it in the other color. I wonder if we can put any kind of sparkles in this. might be fun. Now I better stick with what it's supposed to have. I'm still confused as to what happened here. Now, when I poured these, I didn't pour these in, like I'm doing now with the white, and then I did the green separately, totally separately. I'm just gonna make sure there's no white. A little paste. Left on the spoon. Feel like I need a little more. It's not gonna hurt to put more white in here because I can make the other color. All right. Whoa. Where are you going, mister? Yeah, didn't make enough. God, I hope it's enough. Sure doesn't seem like it's gonna be. We just might have to make up a emergency batch. Well, I mixed up exactly 3 ounces, so I probably should have done 4. So hopefully this is enough. Still would like to know what it was that caused that white. There wasn't any white paste in there, and it's powdery looking. I have my ornaments sitting over here because I gotta make some more ornaments. Alright, I put the blue in this time. I'll still give her that other one. She'll probably still play with it. Yeah. I'm gonna have to make up a little bit. I'm gonna try to do a half an ounce each. Okay, I'm not gonna have you watch me this, so I'll cut some of this out. too much in there. Now I have a little bitty tiny bit left. Okay, I just had enough left over to put in the turtle mold. We're going to let those sit. And we'll come back and demold them. Oh, the whole reason why I was telling you about the surgery was because we were supposed to take our granddaughter out for her birthday on the weekend of November 3rd, and we weren't able to do that because, you know, he got the infection and everything. And so, I mean, they always like to go to Pizza Ranch, which is kind of like Chuck E. Cheese, but it's better. And they like to play the games afterwards. So, yeah. So I wanted him to be able to, you know, keep up with her because she's little. She's she turned 5. So, you know, 5-year-olds have a lot of energy, and the other one's 7, and she's got even more energy. So we split them up. He gets 1 and I get 1. We trade off and on. And so, yeah. All right, we're gonna let those set up, and I'll be back. All right, I just had to mix up a little bit more because I thought, well, why don't I try to pour this turtle? And I thought, I wonder if you can put glow in the dark in here. And I think I'm just gonna leave it this color. I thought about making it green, but the glow in the dark powder is blue. And so I thought to just leave it white, I mean like this clearish color. I don't know. Do you think I should put a little blue in there? There's a little bit left in here. Let's see what happens. Not a lot. I don't want it, I kind of want it to be transparent so you can see the glow in the dark through it, but well, that didn't change it much. It does look a little blue. I'm gonna also try to put some, oh, those are flakes. Is that alcohol in it? I mean, as long as we're experimenting, we might as well check it all, right? See if it's possible. These are the drawer to my table here. You can just see it. Well, I'll turn the camera just a little bit. It's just full of chameleon samples. There's some that are metallic. Yeah, this is how I pick my items out. This is how I picked my red out, I think. I have lots and lots of colors. This is reflective glitter. Those are the super sparkle that I ended up putting on the website. I don't know where the magnetic ones went, but they're in here. Still debating if there should be some blue in here. I think it should. Let's get the blue back out. Oh my goodness, I just wiped it off and put it away. And the spoons. And just so you know, I always keep these little foil tops that go over. You know, when you take those off, you should actually put them back in the lid and keep it on your paste or whatever you're working with, because it keeps it fresher longer. So I don't want too much blue in here because I don't want it opaque. So I'm just gonna rub it on the side of this cup and see if I just use a little. Yeah, like that. Very, very light blue. Maybe a little more. I mean, it's not going to be transparent anyway, but with less coloring in there, I'm thinking you might be able to see the glow powder through it. Let's see. All right. I like to wet my surfaces of my molds, so whether I'm using resin or whatever, so that it knows where to follow. See how easy that was? Went right in there. Of course, I got leftover. All right, now I gotta go get another mold. Well, if it doesn't work in this gecko, I can just throw it away. This mold is shot. I only use it for aqua cast because it's lost its shine, and I bought new ones since. But this is just a sample to see if it's gonna work. I'm gonna try to move this one though. I just cleaned this mat off the other day. And it's dirty already. I don't know. I have a feeling those fingers are going to be pretty tricky getting out of there. What do you think? All right. That's all I'm doing. See you later. Okay, let's see if this is ready. There it goes. Phew. Feels like it's really stuck in there. These last ones didn't feel like that. It felt a little stickier. Come on. Come on, baby. Get out of there. Get out of there. Oh, I don't know about that. The pigment didn't stick to it. Well, that's weird. Oh, looks like some of it did. Let's just hope the ears stay on. Oh, she did on these. It was the bear that didn't. I don't know why this one seems like it's harder to demold than the first one. Come on, get out of there. There's the little ears. Come on. Get out of there. This one too. There we go. My little granddaughters just love these kind of things. I did the ones from Flix Resin, the ones with the flocking on it. I did those last Christmas for them. They really liked them. Oh, he's cute. Yeah, definitely gonna have to put a little more pink on his feet. I don't know why that piece stuck in the mold. Oh, well, we'll put some more pigment on him. And then this was the green bear. This one is blue bear. I did wash these molds out. Are you not supposed to? They feel like they stuck more this time. Oh gosh, I'm not even in the camera. I'm so sorry. I have some overage here. It's sticking to my finger. It won't come off. There we go. Come on. Get out of there. Get out of there. All right. See, now this did it too. It must be this mold, because it doesn't do it on the other one. Look at that. And look, it's the same spots as this one. Well, that's just weird. Maybe that's a bad mold. Look at that. And then this blue. It's cute, but maybe I didn't mix that blue in good enough. I don't know, but it sure looked like it was. Here's the turtle I did in it. Let's see how that turned out. Then after I turned the camera off, I can't remember if I turned it back on, but I did pour some with some glow-in-the-dark in it. Turtle and another little turtle and a gecko. Oh, this one's cute. A little squishy. That is adorable. Okay, well that one came out. Now see, I used the same blue. Same stuff and everything, I think. It's just weird. Look at, now, I'm gonna put this one on because I got stuff on my fingers. I got that blue paste on there. Alright, so let's try these. And I'm gonna have to charge them up. Well, that's really cute. You can put them right under the light here. Oh, I can see them glowing through there already. Or I still have a light on. Girls are gonna love those. Let's try this turtle. Do you want me to turn my light back on, or can I demold this way? Oh, I don't know. That one's still tacky. I'm gonna leave that one sit. This one's a little deeper. Maybe that's why. I don't know. All right. This one's a little tacky too, so I'll leave that one. I think because they're deeper. All right. We'll check back in a little bit. Okay, let's see if these are ready to come out yet. This turtle mold is old. Well, not old, it's just been well used. I don't know, maybe I didn't get this last, or maybe it didn't set up right because of the glow in the dark. I have a feeling that's what it is, because this should be ready to go. I mean, it kind of pulls away. But it does feel, well, kind of sticky. But this one came out okay. There he goes. Yeah, he's kind of gooey. So this one's probably going to be gooey too. No, this one looks not as gooey, but I wonder what these fingers are going to do. These things are so... I don't really like working with this kind of stuff. My granddaughters love this slimy types textures, but I just don't like it. There's one hand free. Come on, get out of there. Piece of paper underneath there. What a mess. Oh my goodness. There's his other hand. Come on out of there. So I'm curious how many of you have tried this, either the Flix Rubber or the Flex Rubber from, this one's from Bond Crafter, and the other one is from Resin. I got something from the mold on here. Well, God, that's gooey. I don't know if that's gonna set up or not. Look at his little, hi. I did put some flakes in there. Stuff is like greasy feeling too. Slimy. Should have wiped all this excess off. All right. Feels like a earthworm. All right, let's get this out of there. Come on. I'm not having this anymore. Get out. I think I said that during delivery one time with one of my kids. Come out, come out. It's time. All right, so there's the gecko. And because it's kind of sticky, it's picking up glitter. But I am going to let this one sit with the other one and see if tomorrow it's not so sticky. If not, might have to put some of that, I don't know, I'll probably just throw them away, but this one, I did get some pictures of it. All lit up. I'll show it to you at the end, but it's glowing. Let's see what these guys do. I just cleaned this Resiners mat just the other day, and I've already got it pretty messy. I think the stickiness is from the glow powder. So it's definitely glowing. This one's got some flake in it. Can you see it? So I'm just gonna leave it set there overnight and see what happens. You see them glowing? All right, that's it.